You mean?
And these used to be the walls of the city.
Right, I see that. I have seen this in Morocco.
Turkey, Morocco,
Yes.
you see it everywhere you go.
They have fish market in the morning, is that?
Fish market is over there.
Okay, I see. Do you want to go?
I don't want to go.
I want to go, really.
Yeah, butchers don't keep on filming. Probeer ze die niet mischen. Prayer room. For Muslim people, ladies and men will generally pray but not in the same place. In Tunisia particularly, because you have different section of the Sunnite people. You have the men's room for pray, and on this side, which is covered, this is the ladies' room for praying. When you go to Turkey, you have the same prayer room, and ladies just pray on the just behind men. Well, there is a reason for that. It's not just like there is really a reason for that, because when we pray, we go down and bend for what we call a surgery. So when ladies bend, it's not really very nice to have a lady bending in front of men. So that's why they're just behind, so that it's much better for them and more respectful for them. When you see inside the men's praying room, you have around 140 columns in all the prayer room supporting the roof of this mosque. And in front of you, you have the mihrab. The mihrab is directed in the direction of Mecca, and all the mosques have the mihrab in the direction of Mecca. So when we pray, we are directed to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. And you have wooden stairs over there, just on the side of the mihrab. The mihrab, in fact, is that rounded place, that kavea over there. That's called the mihrab. It's wonderfully decorated with stucco over. And you have the wooden stairs over there, just on the right hand side. Pray, he gets in on the top of the mihrab for the mimbar, and he gives the Friday lecture for the Friday pray every week. All over you have what we call hasira, and that's used for people to pray, and they can even lie some carpets for prayer carpets, which are rather small, like that small one, blue and white, over there on the floor. The columns you have in this mosque were generally collected from the different Roman ruins around this area. They're not Muslim. You see there are different types. You have marble, you have granite, you have different material that in the columns, and they have different origins. Some of them are Corinthian, some other are just not much decorated, and we have around 140 columns. And we have chandeliers coming down from the roof, and these chandeliers, these are the four big ones, and on the side you have smaller ones. At the beginning they used to have candles in those small containers, small glass containers, but then when electricity came, they turned it into bulbs, and now it's really wonderfully overwhelming. You have light all over, and even sound is much better. You have high speakers all over, and the imam uses a speaker to get his voice over in the mosque. But before having the speakers, they used to, you have a very nice acoustic inside of the prayer room, and if he is reading the Quran, he doesn't have to shout or to yell a lot so that people listen. The wonderful acoustic you have in the prayer room makes it easier for him to read the Quran and to do the Friday lecture. But later on, with innovations, electricity, high speakers, and things like that, it's getting more and more easier. Okay, I'll give you some time for some photos of it. or somebody else anywhere else. When you go to Istanbul, you have what we call a first floor for kings. The king lies on the first floor and stands on the first floor in the mosque. Whereas for us in Tunisia, mainly, there is no difference. King, aristocratic people, or common people in the world, they all lie on the floor, they all sit on the floor, and they all listen to a Friday lecture on the floor and pray on the floor. There is really no difference between them. Higher floor than the common people. The common people stand on the floor, but then the king has got a higher level for the king. If you go to the
Blue Mosque,
you have a second floor in the Blue Mosque, because the Blue Mosque used to be a church before being a mosque. Then if you go to the mosque of...
no, not the Blue Mosque. They're talking about
the sunset. The Blue Mosque, you have a wooden floor.
Okay.
A wooden floor for the king, which is higher than the grand floor. Because the first one who came to Tunisia was Aqba ibn Nafa, together with some of the friends of the prophets a long time ago in 7th century. They came from Mecca in Saudi Arabia. And they came to Tunisia to start founding the first Muslim communities in Africa. They came here. Aqba ibn Nafa was the one leading the people coming from Saudi Arabia. He came to this area, which at that time the legend is saying that this area was really a desert area. No one was there, no one is living in this area, and just he came with his horse, and the horse just stepping on the floor twice, and once he started stepping on the floor, a water spring came out, and they found out that this water spring the water of this water spring comes from Zamzam water, which is in Mecca. Well, this is only a legend. Nothing is true. We're about hundreds of kilometers from Mecca, and we're not sure that water can come from that place to here to Africa, which is really unscientific, let's say. It's just a legend. But then the true thing is that he came with his friends to start spreading Islam all over Africa, and he found that this place was really wonderful for him to start establishing the Muslim and Islam and over spreading Islam over Africa. There is one reason of choosing this place, because in fact this place is inland. And at that time we used to have Byzantine people on the coast areas of Tunisia, and Byzantine were really very strong for army and mainly navy and ship trading. So just they wanted to get inland to be away from these beach areas which were ruled by Byzantine people, and he's been choosing this area just because he found that the area was flat, really wonderful and good to establish his first Muslim community. It took the name of Caravan, which is a Farsi name, and it was turned into Qayrawan later on. It's just the local dialect who transformed Caravan to Qayrawan. That's the name of the city right now in Tunisia, and it means caravan in Farsi. That's the name of the city. Originally, the mosque used to be in the center of the city of Qayrawan, but then through all the different invasions we have, the mosque was made bigger with a different civilization getting after Aqba ibn Nafa, and they turned into rather a fortress. That's why you have high walls all over, and even the minaret looks much like a watchtower than a minaret. And then the mosque lies now actually on the borders of the city and no more in the middle of the city. Well, it's a very long story in fact, because after Aqba ibn Nafa, there had been Muslim people who ruled Tunisia called Aghlabite people, and who turned this area as really wonderful area with lots of water basins. They've been collecting rainwater, and there is a very huge river just on the sides of the city, and they've been collecting the water of this river. They've been using very huge water basins and water cisterns, the same system used in Roman people, And they were bringing even current water to the city of Kairouan, and people in their houses used to have hot and cold current water. But then unfortunately the city of Kairouan with the Aghlabid people who were Sunnite when destroyed with the Shiite people who came to Mehdiya, and they founded the city of Mehdiya on the beach, and they destroyed the city of Kairouan here. They were Shiite. And then back again we had people from Morocco, Al-Muwahideen, who came and chased away the Shia people who went back to Cairo, and they founded again another Sunnite city in Kairouan. And later the king of Cairo, who used to be Shia, and just to punish the population of Tunisia, they sent tribes from Egypt, which called the Banu Hilal tribes, who were really devastating every kind of thing. And they came to Tunisia around the 13th, 14th century. They've been invading Tunisia from the south because they used to live in southern Egypt, and they were really revolutionary people, and the king of Cairo wanted to get rid of this tribe, so he just sent them to Tunisia and asked them to destroy everything, and he's been promising them food and lots of things for these tribes. They came to Tunisia and they've been devastating every single thing they found on their way. They have been destroying forests, they have been destroying lots of cities, and unfortunately Kairouan was destroyed at that time, and everyone just forgot about Kairouan and how wonderful and nice the city used to be. We still find some of the ruins of Kairouan during the Aghlabid period, and at that time, the few ruins we have, we still have writings about the city at that time. The city used to be as beautiful as Cordoba in Andalusia. Really wonderful, with wonderful mosques and wonderful decoration architecture. Well, unfortunately, nothing is remaining. Still have some ruins in Raqada, about 20 kilometers from Kairouan, but then nothing is remaining. That was the last time where Kairouan used to be the capital of whole Tunisia, with the coming of people around the 14th century, 15th century. They turned the capital of Tunisia from Kairouan to Tunis. And that was the end of the capital of Kairouan as the capital of Tunisia. This year, Kairouan is the capital of the Muslim world, the cultural capital of the Muslim world for a whole year. That's why we have a lot of shows, a lot of lectures everywhere, and it's getting many shows and lots of things about the history of the city. Of the mosque is also a water reservoir. If you go under, you will see holes all over. These holes, in fact, collect rainwater, and down underneath all this area, you have water reservoirs. They used to bring water to the city of Kairouan, which is just behind the mosque. Where now they're still used, but not that much, because we have different other water reservoirs. But the water reservoirs still exist and still used. Again, the columns you are seeing all over are columns, Roman columns. They collected from the different Roman ruins in the surrounding cities. El-Jem was destroyed at that time. They used some of the rocks of El-Jem. El-Jem is not far, about 60 kilometers from Kairouan. Hadramaut, Sus, also destroyed, and they used some of the columns of Hadramaut, and some other cities also were destroyed, and they used the same columns. We go through this kind of path now. Yeah, brings it bigger and bigger and bigger. So it was well founded in the 7th century, but then it got bigger. And then this size, we had this size at about the 17th century. Until then, nothing's been changed in this mosque. You see this monument? First, this monument comes from one of the Roman sites surrounding. It's not a Muslim monument. They used to use this, Byzantine people, and they had churches for batons. And then it was brought from one of the Roman sites in Tunisia, and now it's just a decoration for the patio. And I guess if you have noticed that the patio is a bit you have a slight slope, and water is collecting because you have holes over there that get into the water reservoir underneath all this area. You can see also some side holes where water gets into the underneath, just to get the water over there. And over there you have side holes, and the top of them are columns, in fact, the top of columns, but then used now just to bring out water from the underneath cistern. And so holes over here till down, and the holes like this one, we use them just to clean the underneath water reservoir. Over here, smaller pot. It's written in Arabic, and you have 4 iron sticks showing time, minutes, and the direction of the sun, direction for seasons, and you can see it. It's written in Arabic, and you have different graduations. I give you time to get up there because the stairs are a bit small, but then you can see it with the shadow. We can know when the praise of the day comes because we have 5 prays a day, and every pray time is according to the direction of the sun. So you have the subh pray, which is the morning pray, and they just have one direction. They have a dhuhr, which is around a quarter. Use all these designs together to get this one built up. We'll get inside another room. God bless you. Have a look at the ceiling. This is stucco work, and if you go to Cordoba, Andalusia, you will find the same work on stucco with these wonderful motifs all over, and the chandelier in crystal. Enter into the room, but then you can go and have a look in front of the door. He is buried there, and people come here to this mausoleum just to ask for things and to get their sons circumcised in this place. Well, these are just beliefs. Well, and all over you have also 2 other tombs of different other saint men. But
What is the water?
drinking water for people. That's very important in Tunisia and for Muslim people. When you offer something to drink to someone very thirsty, mainly in very hot days, it's really a very good favor you got with God because you've been giving him something to drink. That's very important.
You can't say that you don't want it if somebody offers you something.
No, generally you
So
have to
what
take
happens
it.
if you don't take it?
No, it's okay, no problem.
I didn't take it from my boyfriend yesterday.
But it's very important for the one who offers water because generally you should offer water to the people getting into a mausoleum. And mainly in this mausoleum we have a lot of people coming in every day. So it's very important to offer them something to drink, generally water. So you can go over there to see the mausoleum just in front of the door. Yes.
Who's the person that has been
The barber.
a barber? What was his name?
We call it Sidi Sahbi, but then oh my god, I'm forgetting my words.
Why
today.
he's so famous? Why he was?
He used to be the one who shaved the Prophet.
Oh, you mentioned. So
yes,
okay,
he is the
okay.
barber of the Prophet. Here we go. You have an internal patio and rooms all around. The room that you're seeing around here used to be, well, they are still used as school. Quranic school to teach children and other people how to read Quran and how to use and to interpret Quran and give them good lectures about this Quran. You see just behind me, you have the men's praying room, and all is directing this way because the Mecca side is this way. If you look inside there, you have a bedroom over here. Then you have the Sabriya over there with the two columns and the arches white and black. That's the mihrab, or directed directly to Mecca. And over there, the wooden stairs are the mimbar. And you have over there 5 times a day. These are the 5 times for praying a day. The 5 prays of the day. You have one at 4:35. That's the Fajr. And you have then you get
10 after 9.
10 after 9. That's the Dhuhr. No, it's not really correct. It's not 7:30. Well, 7:25. That's the Maghrib Isha. Qarwan. As you've seen, that Qarwan is still surrounded. The antique Medina of Qarwan is still surrounded by its walls, and you have many gates. This one is the biggest gate, the entrance of the antique Medina. You are here in the antique Medina, and out of the doors is the French or the modern, what we call the modern city. And inside you have everything going around, a mosque, a markets, and all over around. Okay, so I'll give you, we will be leaving Qarwan at noon. It's 12:15, okay? You have, well, about 20 minutes. If you go and have a small tour of the city, you have this main place and then the main city. Don't try to get... spent together. I hope that you had the same. Well, that you've discovered much of my country, and I'd like to see you again back to Tunisia. And well, I will miss you all. Sure. What do you say now? I will say lots of things, lots of
Oh, you can say, I don't know.
Say Ya Khuda again?
That's good. That's enough. You said that, you know. So I put that in some part.
Good, and like what you've been seeing, and I guess that some of you did not expect what they've been seeing in Tunisia during this day. And on behalf of Gate One people just behind, we wish you wonderful getting back home, and we wish to see you again in Tunisia very soon.
Thank you.
I'd like to say that I had a great time on this trip. You know, I was hoping to see great deserts and a lot of old Roman ruins, and I got to see both. So I'm real happy how this trip turned out. Including hotels too. Very nice.
Okay, for the last time, we should be back in the bus.
Anyone wants to say anything? No.